And welcome back to the First Union Center. The last time the 76ers were in the playoffs, they played at the Spectrum. This will be the largest crowd of well over 18,000. And a significant hurdle for the Orlando Magic, starting Darrell Armstrong and Penny Hardaway at guard. Nick Anderson, who was a shooting guard, has been the small forward up front, along with Horace Grant and Ike Austin. For the Philadelphia 76ers, Eric Snow and Allen Iverson at guard. Theo Ratliff, Matt Geiger, George Lynch up front. And now here's Craig Sager.
Well, Rick Mahorn may not get off the bench tonight, but he's determined to have an influence on what happens to his younger teammates. With a black belt of playoff experience and one of Chuck Daly's original bad boys in Detroit, before that part of the filthy McNasty tag team in Washington, he held a pregame pep talk about the martial arts of very physical play within the rules. He concluded by quoting the Philadelphia Daily News, "Yo, Orlando. The real world is Philly cheesesteaks and Rocky Balboa, not fresh squeezed orange juice and Mickey Mouse." Dick Hubie?
That's something to ponder, Craig. Do that as we get set to go. The officials are Hugh Hollins, Ken Maurer, and Joe DeRosa. Orlando in blue, the Sixers in white, and the tip controlled by Orlando. Philadelphia had it and lost it, and so Darrell Armstrong guarded by Allen Iverson.
Both teams are very big, turning the basketball over. Both teams are very quick in the open play.
Horace Grant going up with a shot. It's deflected away, and Matt Geiger gets the rebound. The 76ers beat the Orlando Magic by an average of 18 points in their two victories here. They lost by 1 point in Orlando, so they're a confident team playing here at home. Iverson shooting over Armstrong, and the crowd erupts. Iverson with 30 in game one, held to 13 the other night.
Well, you want him to be able to come off the screens when he's open, make the catch and shoot so that the double team is caught halfway.
And the double team on Armstrong, and Matt Geiger is going to tie him up. Geiger will jump against Armstrong with a huge size advantage.
Now, this crowd is absolutely berserk, and we've only into the game less than a minute. Okay, now you can see the double team. This team thrives. They lead the league in steals. They lead the league in forced turnovers. And they already have Orlando averaging 20 a game.
And the tip, to no one's surprise, controlled by Geiger and the 76ers. George Lynch, who got into early foul trouble, trying to back down Nick Anderson, and he does it successfully, and a good start for Lynch, who was a double-double performer in game one.
Yeah, this is major here tonight, and that is that Lynch and Geiger help out at the offensive end of the floor, and then when Hill comes off the bench, that he makes a big production as well.
There's Horace Grant beating Ike Austin, and Austin hitting from the perimeter. Austin coming alive somewhat. His numbers didn't show it in game two, but he was quite active and had 4 assists.
Yeah, and a lot of it is coming, Dick. I would say half the points are coming from the perimeter on spot-ups.
Sixers leading 4-2. Less than 2 minutes gone by. Eric Snow with the double team. They go inside to Ratliff, and Ratliff is fouled. Theo Ratliff, the former Piston, who has had 5 blocked shots in the series thus far and has been consistent with 7 points in 8 rebounds in each game.
Anytime that you trap out on the wings, Philadelphia will get the ball into the middle of the floor. And when the penetration goes down the lane, you will see rotation. Now, if Snow and Iverson can deliver the passes, then Philly will be at home. In game 2, they struggle. You have to look at this. Iverson is averaging 6 turnovers and Snow 4 in the 2 ball games.
And as you pointed out, Philadelphia, a team with a penchant for turning it over, and that's where it all starts. Ratliff, who is a 73% free throw shooter, makes 1 out of 2. The personal was on Horace Grant, and it's a 5-2 early lead.
See, I like this. I like them coming down the floor early, putting the pressure on Orlando, taking key seconds, and then also give them the trap.
And Grant travels, and you can see that already the Philadelphia 76er quickness has the Magic back on their heels.
Well, you see, they're surprising them. They did not do this in games 1 or 2. The trap is so far up high, they are giving Orlando a taste of what they did in game 2.
And Larry Brown planning this after he saw what happened. A lot of people think it's going to be a physical game. It may not be if the Sixers can play the way they have started out with the pressure. Here is Iverson with the ball, can beat anyone, and there's a good defensive play by Hardaway, and Penny has it stripped away, and it's off the foot of Hardaway, Philadelphia ball, and Iverson came right back at Penny with a terrific play.
See, that's what Iverson is all about. See, he doesn't give up. He made a bad pass. Now watch him catch Hardaway and go for the strip right there. You got to give this guy a lot of credit if you've never seen him play before. He is the real Energizer Bunny. There are a lot of imposters out there, but this guy is the bunny.
He's the real deal. A schoolyard kind of game, and you can expect it from these teams because of their steals and turnovers. Both excel at both of those areas. Here is Geiger with a turnaround, and Armstrong the rebound, and the Magic trying to push it up. 2.5 minutes gone by. Here is Horace Grant, and Lynch the rebound for Philadelphia.
Now Orlando will push the ball quickly as long as Armstrong is in the game. Now you can see the trap. Now they've just got to take advantage and get to their spots.
Here is Ratliff with a hook shot, and Horace Grant got a piece of that. Good defensive play, and you notice that Eric Snow right in the middle. He had open shots in game one, and he passed them up, but he was covered on that last sequence. Here's Penny Hardaway going out to Armstrong. He's got a three-point attempt. And Ratliff, the leading rebounder for Philadelphia, cleared.
Well, I like at both ends, Dick, early on, only one shot. Now, these are two of the better offensive rebounding teams in this league.
Geiger with a turnaround. And 4 of the 5 starters for the 76ers are on the scoreboard. It's 7-2, Philadelphia.
Oh.
Iverson very nearly picked the pocket of Darrell Armstrong. 2 quick point guards. Armstrong gets by Iverson on the pick, and Austin travels. So already the Magic have turned it over 4 times, and Armstrong and Geiger going at it now.
Well, see, this is what we got to stay away from right now. See, Armstrong has got to realize that, you know, we don't need any confrontation here to show any manhood. And we know that Geiger isn't going to do anything here because you cannot lose either player. Philly can't lose Geiger, and definitely Orlando cannot lose Armstrong because of the defense with Iverson. Now you're going to see the play right here. Now you're going to have the move strong. Geiger goes for a foul. Come on, that was a moderate hard foul. Now we have words here, and I don't know why Armstrong comes in. He's not even involved in the play.
And the officials very alertly separate
yeah, they got to
the 2 players.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, you know, let's face it. First of all, you don't need a major fine. Number 2, you don't want to get thrown out of the game. Number 3, you do not want to be suspended for another game.
Eric Snow with a layup, and the Magic thought he was going to pass to Iverson, opening up the middle for Eric Snow's basket. So all 5 Sixers starters are on the board, 9-2.
See, if you're looking early, Geiger is the designated double teamer.
And Iverson colliding with Austin, and a foul called against Ike Austin, his first personal.
Now, when you look at Geiger, remember, this guy is 7 foot, and he is hustling from down in the post area or at the foul line. He's coming out past three-point line, giving you that energy, trapping guards, and then rotating back to his own man. That takes a lot of stamina.
Eric Snow, the point guard, formerly with Seattle, where he didn't have a chance to show what he could do, and feeding Iverson coming off the screen, so Allen Iverson off to a much better start. And very alert defensively, and now Armstrong loses the ball out of bounds. No one was near him, and that is the 5th turnover of the game for the Magic.
Dick, that's just careless basketball. See, Orlando wanted to call a timeout. Armstrong was taking it over to the sideline.
And look at Chuck Daly over there. Is Geiger right in the middle of the Orlando huddle? What is he doing there?
Now, you see, that all happened over on that side of the floor. Geiger was down in the corner playing Grant. So whatever happened on Detroit, when the ball went out of bounds, that was a turnover for Armstrong. But Orlando wanted to take it to that spot and call a timeout.
And Chuck Daly was trying to shove Geiger away from his sideline. Timeout and a heated start in Philly. It's called, so the 76ers. No timeout called, and the 76ers with the ball. Snow with a fake pass, misses the shot, and Nick Anderson gets the rebound. So we have had a peppery start to this game number 3, with the 76ers leading 11-2. Nick Anderson firing over Ratliff, and Anderson hitting. Nick Anderson, who has struggled, as you mentioned, 3 of 18 from three-point range, hits his first tonight.
Now, he needed that for his confidence, but also the team needed it. in order to get on this board here and start cutting the lead down.
6:45 remaining in the first quarter. Lynch finding Snow, and Snow hitting the shot. Eric Snow has faked the pass to the left all the time and has taken the shot and is connected on 2 of them.
He's the big key in this game tonight, Dick, because he's going to be handling most of the times in the middle of the floor to break it down, but then also he will open up when Geiger is the man who will rotate the pass.
But they have gone for his fakes. Anderson again for 3, way off on the air ball. Will turn it over. So Nick Anderson trying to get going and stroking the 3, and right now the 76ers call a timeout with a standing ovation and an 8-point early lead. .6:15 to go in the first quarter, and double technical fouls were called in that flare-up between Matt Geiger and Darrell Armstrong. The Philadelphia 76ers using their quickness and a pretty exciting style of play, ragged at times, but it's certainly to the pleasure of this capacity crowd, Hubie.
Well, in the league ratings for the season, we have the 2 teams rated first and second in steals and forced turnovers. So consequently, what we're going to have here is ragged play. There's no doubt about it. At one end, we have Orlando trapping Iverson every time he touches the ball. At the other end, they are using Geiger to trap every single time they feel that either Armstrong or Hardaway is in an isolation situation.
Iverson and Snow, the backcourt, each with 4. Nick Anderson, who hit the 3, has the scoring lead for the Magic early on. Lynch is guarded by Nick Anderson. Iverson came off a screen. Lynch went to Snow, and Anderson gets the rebound.
See, that was beautiful. They ran a nice double screen on the baseline for Iverson. He was open, but they did not go to him. They went to Snow because he was left open. That's going to happen a ton tonight.
Here is Horace Grant, who gets inside, and he beats Geiger, and Ike Austin found him, and it is now 13-7, a 6-point lead. Philadelphia winning by 14 in game 1, and the Orlando Magic winning by 11 on Tuesday night, the 3rd lowest scoring game in NBA playoff history. Here is Geiger with the air ball, and Austin gets it out quickly to Darrell Armstrong. Sixers are back defensively, and Armstrong nearly turns it over. Armstrong decides to drive, and he loses it again. Loose ball picked up by Eric Snow, 2-on-2, and now Lynch comes into the picture. Iverson fires for 3.
When a guy shoots a 3, the majority of the time the ball will rebound long, and that ball went right out to the foul line area. All the white shirts were inside. Now Armstrong is having difficulty handling the basketball tonight, but in this series, Dick, he's averaging 6 turnovers a game.
And Armstrong driving is fouled by Allen Iverson. So with under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter, Penny Hardaway has not yet attempted a shot. That was the story in game number 2. It took a while for Hardaway to even attempt a shot, but he wound up with 22 points to lead the team, along with 7 rebounds. And a lot of it was driving to the basket. Hardaway playing an outstanding game to bring the Magic back in game 2. Bo Outlaw is going to come into the game now for Ike Austin. Outlaw with an impressive game number 2, especially in the shot blocking department.
They did a terrific job defensively, got himself 4 blocks, and then was all over the floor getting deflections for his team. Now, Orlando, you look at the score, it's only 13-9. They've been able to handle this energy at the beginning of the game, the sensational shooting, the turnovers. Now they're right back in the ballgame.
The crowd and the Sixers had a lot of adrenaline early on, and the Magic just trying to stay with him. Iverson misses the shot, the rebound by Anderson, and that is where the point you made about their playoff experience comes in handy.
Well, in game 1, Philly had 24 offensive rebounds. In game 2, they only had 11. Now, if you notice tonight, they're only getting 1 shot attempt.
And it's going to be very difficult for Philadelphia if they don't get second shots. Penny Hardaway with his first shot of the game, and it falls off the rim.
Right now, Philly's got to pick up the tempo here right now. They're just, what I say, they're soft-shoeing the fast break. They're not pushing the ball hard, and that is their advantage.
4-point Philadelphia lead. Iverson fires it up and hits. Allen Iverson with a three-point basket, and it's 16-9. Iverson with 7 of the Sixers' 16 points.
In the 2 games before this, he averages 7 threes. And you say,
Steal by George Lynch. And Lynch with Penny Hardaway back. Not a good pass, but Geiger saves it for the 76ers. George Lynch, a tremendous defensive player. Ratliff, and the rebound by Horace Grant. So the 76ers' poor shooting showing up here in the first quarter.
Well, they're a 40% shooting team. But what they do is, because they always turn you over so much, they'll always get more shots than you. And that's a big factor in their style of play. They're a defensive team first.
Matt Harpring will come into the game for Orlando, and for Larry Brown, he'll bring in Tyrone Hill. And a timeout with 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Harpring, who came up big in game number 2, will be in there when we come back.
Now, we'd like to show you the trapping by Philadelphia. Here is Matt Geiger coming up the floor. Now, if you notice, the guard will force a reverse dribble. Geiger will come right in and get the trap. Watch how the offside man will come up and cause a violation. Now, they're using Geiger all over the floor. Now, there is your initial. Now, as he tried to pass through it, they come up. Now, they didn't get the steal. Hey, but that's okay, because a big man is handling the ball. And that's what that is all about. The key, the point guard must turn your point guard, and then the blind side double team guy comes, and then you shoot the gap on the third man.
Dick Stockton along with Hubie Brown and Craig Sager, the first Union Center. Already they know this will be the largest playoff crowd ever to see the Philadelphia 76ers play.
Yes.
Larry Hughes from Allen Iverson. Hughes coming in the game along with Tyrone Hill, and the crowd ecstatic as the 76ers playing their first playoff game at home in 8 years, and they lead the Orlando Magic by a score of 18-9. Matt Harpring alertly goes back behind, and Horace Grant nails it from outside, and the Sixers are up by 7.
Now, right now, Allen Iverson is on Harpring. Harpring posted him up right away. Iverson fronted. And when they went over the top, you'll see double team and passing.
Iverson gets open again. This way off. Iverson already hitting 1 3 tonight. Has 7 points in the game. And there is Bo Outlaw from Penny Hardaway. So that is the second time the Magic getting the big people inside for the alley-oop.
Now, Philadelphia's got to pay attention to Outlaw, because as long as Orlando will push hard, Outlaw will outrun his man from end to end.
Harpring is guarding Iverson, and with help from Penny Hardaway, this is the double team that worked so well in game number 2. And as Iverson goes up, a foul is called against the Magic, and it goes against Matt Harpring.
Now, when you take Armstrong out of there and you go big with Hardaway, now you have Hardaway, Anderson, and Harpring, all big guys. When you put the trap on Iverson, his quickness can beat that trap if you're not quick and cut him off. And you saw it. He just negated the trap and got right inside of the paint.
Iverson missing the free throw. And talking with Mo Cheeks, an assistant coach for Larry Brown, who was a great point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers when they won the title. He said it's a different world now. He says the point guards have to score. They do so many more things, thus they turn the ball over more. And I asked Cheeks, what was your shooting percentage in your career when you played? His answer, 53%.
Yeah, well, that's why today the only guard that we had in the top 10 in shooting percentage is John Stockton.
Here's Anderson, and Anderson releases, and Larry Hughes did not get back in time, and the faux pas for the Sixers brings the Magic to within 4.
Well, you see, they were in a zone press that time, and they were up the floor, and unfortunately, the deep man did not get back in his rotation.
Harpring is guarding Iverson, doubling with Hardaway. Here is Eric Snow. Iverson from three-point range and throws up the air ball, and that's what Allen Iverson will do from now and then. He will fire away at will from all angles and miss from all angles.
Dick, during the year, the guy shot 28% in threes. So at playoff time, what do? You take 7 a game. Okay, so it's either feast or famine with him.
1 for 4 thus far from downtown. Harpring misses the jumper, and the rebound by George Lynch. And here is Hughes feeding Hill, and this is the quickness of these young Philadelphia 76ers. He does not play like a rookie, does Larry Hughes. And Tyrone Hill, a great addition from the Milwaukee Bucks.
Now, Iverson has hurt his right hand, his shooting hand. He continues to hold it as he's running down the floor defensively.
He steals the ball, and he's got Hughes with him, and Iverson will take it himself. He had Hughes, but took it himself, and Allen Iverson now in double figures with 10.
I am shocked that Bo Outlaw did not go for the shot block. Believe me, we're talking about one of the guys with the best spring and also shot blocking ability. Now, this is by design, Outlaw with the ball, because that takes the pressure off of their good defenders pressing out at half court.
5 on the shot clock, and Outlaw is going to have to force the shot, and it's blocked by Hughes, and Harpring goes in, and the clock expired. No basket. The 24-second clock went off. And yet another turnover. That is 10 turnovers committed already by the Orlando Magic.
Well, you have to love this. I mean, this is a young team that just out-hustles you. Now, with Hughes in there at 6'5" with the long arms, that gives them another great defender, plus a shot blocker. Hughes is averaging 11 points a game in this series in right around a half a game.
And as Larry Brown told us the other day, an incredible compliment. He says, Larry Hughes is the best defensive player I've coached since Bobby Jones, who is one of the best ever in the league.
Well, next to Michael Jordan, Michael won the first team all-defense 9 times. Bobby Jones is second with 8 first-team all-defensive awards. Now, naturally, we did not have these awards when Bill Russell played, or he would have retired the trophy.
Larry Hughes misses a 3 with 24 seconds to go, plus the shot blocking trophy, plus all those awards, plus, of course, the championship trophy, because no one won more than number 6. And Iverson with another steal. That's 11 turnovers, and it's the quickest for the 76ers. Larry Hughes into Tyrone Hill. Loose ball, time running out, but enough time for Anderson to get a shot off. And a helter-skelter first quarter, and that is all to the Philadelphia 76ers liking. Iverson with 10 points, and alert defensive play as well. And after 1 quarter of play, the Philadelphia 76ers lead the Orlando Magic in Game 3, 23-15.
The Sixers are in the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. They have an 8-point lead, and nobody is enjoying it more than their co-owner and president, Pat Croce. You got this crowd like
is it wild?
I haven't seen one like this all year.
They're hungry for a playoff ball, and they got some today.
Most owners stay up in their skyboxes. You came down here in the court, and you have very unusual ways of getting here.
Oh, the rappelling?
Yeah.
Hey, anything that works. It got the fans raving, man. That's what we want. It was Fan Appreciation Day.
Well, the crowd's happy to be here, but it looks like you guys want to go further than just the first round.
Oh, no. Our goal wasn't to make the playoffs. Our goal is to win the playoffs. Big goals.
All right, congratulations. Have fun tonight. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
All right, Craig, and Pat Croce had to miss Game 1 in Orlando because he was delivering the commencement address at Westchester, and they gave him a citation that said, in the home of the cheesesteak, you are our hot dog. Pat Croce. And I don't think he's going to miss any other playoff game.
Nah, he's a bundle of energy. He's a salesman. He's a wonderful man. And he really gets after it for his franchise. Everyone appreciates it if you are a player or a coach here.
Here is Tyrone Hill working his way in. Is blocked by Outlaw. Bo Outlaw, who had 4 blocked shots in game number 2, gives the ball back to the Magic as we start the second quarter. The Sixers leading by 8 points. Orlando shooting 40%. They turned it over 11 times, down by 8. And nearly a steal, and it is a steal. And on the turnover, Allen Iverson.
Oh, he missed it.
Missed it, but Lynch. And he missed it. How often do you see 2 players miss layups like that? And Armstrong fires away. What a game.
Oh,
this is Alabama. Philadelphia ball.
I mean,
can you believe this game so far?
It is. It's absolutely wild. The energy level is incredible. When you think of Philadelphia, look, they've already turned them over a dozen times, but now that's their second layup that they've missed. Hill missed one just before, the end of the quarter.
And that's business as usual as far as the Sixers go. Larry Hughes gets his rebound after missing the shot. Blocked, and now a foul. Michael Doliak, the other rookie, along with Matt Harpring, who has contributed so much for the Magic, committing the foul. He had a quiet second game after a very solid game 1.
Now this young guy right here has a ton of talent. Now we're talking about he only went to college for 1 year at the University of St. Louis, played for Charlie Spoonhour there. An excellent defensive coach and prepared him for what he was going to take on in the NBA. During the course of the year, the young man really stepped up, and he was their 4th leading scorer on the team, and he's averaging right at 11 points at playoff time. Look at the length of the arms on this guy. That's why he might be 6'5", but he plays like he's 6'9".
12 points in the last game, 4 rebounds, and the Sixers open up their biggest lead, 10 points. Orlando with Armstrong, Outlaw, Harpring, Doliak, and Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway has yet to score in this game, and we're 2 minutes into the second quarter. Here is Harpring with a fake on Hill. Penny misses a 3. And the Sixers leading by 12 with the ball again. As Iverson collides with Darrell Armstrong, they'll call the blocking foul on Armstrong.
From top of the circle to top of the circle at the other end, this is the quickest team in basketball, Philadelphia. Your transition defense, you have got to get back quick. You cannot fall asleep with these guys because they all run, all 5 guys.
Aaron McKee in the game at the guard position. George Lynch from the corner. Lynch with his second basket. So George Lynch, who got into foul trouble and ultimately fouled out in the second game, had 7 offensive rebounds in game number 1. 12-point lead for Philadelphia. 2 minutes gone by here in this second quarter. Harpring from 3. And great hustle by the former Georgia Tech star as he kept it alive. Outlaw, tough pass to Penny Hardaway. Armstrong wide open for 3. Tyrone Hill gets it out to Allen Iverson. Magic back, but he pulls up, throws up the air ball. So Allen Iverson has 10 points, probably as many air balls too tonight.
I told you, it's feast or famine, right? The main thing is, though, when you average during the year 22 shot attempts, he's averaging 22 now in the playoffs. Now, that was the most for the season of any player in the league. So, you know, he only shoots 40%. You just got to live with it.
Armstrong hits the 3. So Darrell Armstrong now with 5 points. He and Nick Anderson, the high scorer. Orlando 2 of 9 from 3-point range. And that's what they're going to have to do to get some scoring in this game against the athleticism inside. Iverson, Lynch, and Armstrong is guarding him. 7 on the shot clock. Mismatch somewhere. Lynch trying to find it. And Hill comes up and fouled Doliak and Outlaw, and they're going to call it on Doliak, his second personal foul.
I like what Philly's doing in their half-court sets, but they must continue now to shoot a better percentage in the painted area. Now, Philadelphia's on offense. The basketball's right here. They're going to run a double screen on this side for Iverson. Now, watch as Iverson comes off. Now, Lynch, who sets the screen on the inside, will step in. He's not open, so they give him a baseline screen, and he will open up in this corner over here. Now, just keep an eye on it now. Everyone is concerned. You're going to see Outlaw. See Outlaw playing Lynch. He gets caught. Just hesitating. That's enough to put it up and in. This is what was missing from the Philly attack in game 2. The lack of production of Lynch, Geiger having a tough night shooting, and then also Hill coming off the bench and not being able to score.
Will Smith will not get out of his seat to play in the game. He will not get off the bench tonight, but he will enjoy this game as only he can. As one of the celebrities, they don't all go to Madison Square Garden. Some of them come to the First Union Center to see the Sixers in their first home playoff game in 8 years. Tyrone Hill on the free throw line would rather start, but because of his personal problems, he has a seriously ill father, has missed some games, and so Larry Brown bringing him off the bench. But a big acquisition with his rebounding from the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, it gives them a nice rotation of Geiger, Ratliff, and Hill. 3 guys at 2 positions.
10-point lead as Austin is fouled. And Hill committing the foul. Matt Geiger back in the game. So the Sixers have a Hill and Geiger along with McKee, Snow, and Hughes. So Allen Iverson, who would rather play all 48 minutes, is on the bench right now. Nick Anderson, rebound. It's tipped up by Outlaw into the hands of Snow. Iverson, 10 points, but took 10 shots. And getting a breather now with 8:25 to go in the second.
See, Orlando, they're opening up some nice opportunities. Unfortunately, the guys are shooting so quick.
Here's McKee. He gets open on the double team inside, but he cannot connect. Those are the shots that the Sixers have to make when they double down low. And the crowd, which has been on its feet and waving the white towels in celebration of their playoff appearance here. Quiet right now. Now they get a little revved up on the turnover. Hughes with a runner. And Bo Outlaw goes up high. Outlaw playing big now since the first game for the Magic in these playoffs. Anderson looking for Outlaw. Now Darrell Armstrong beating Snow off the dribble with a nifty move. 7 now for Darrell Armstrong, who was named the NBA's 6th man of the year before Game 2 on Tuesday.
Now Orlando still doing a good job on their defensive board, holding Philly to 1 shot. Now if they can just get their offense under control, pick their spots and take advantage and relax in the shooting areas.
And an 8-point lead for the Philadelphia 76ers. Snow in traffic has it knocked away, and Armstrong gets it away.
There's Outlaw.
And there is a 3-on-1, and Harpring, the trailer, lays it in. Matt Harpring with his first points of the game. And it is now 28-22.
So you cannot be careless with Orlando because they will shoot the gaps on you. You don't think that they're that quick in the passing lane. Then when they get out on the floor with this second unit, Harpring and Outlaw really run hard. Your transition defense must be alert.
With the Sixers up by 6, coming up on Turner Sports, NBA playoff action continues. And right now on TNT, Game 3, the Spurs and Timberwolves with Minnesota shocking San Antonio in Game number 2. Coming up next on TBS, Game 3 between the Pacers and the Bucks. Indiana can close out Milwaukee if they win on the road. And following Spurs Timberwolves, Game 3 between the Lakers and the Rockets, with the Lakers going to Houston leading 2-0. Tyrone Hill and goaltending is called against Ike Austin, so Hill gets credit for the basket. One thing we're seeing as far as the Philadelphia personnel and the rotation is that Hill and Lynch, who got into foul trouble, are getting a chance to get their minutes in the first half.
And that's why we said at the top of the show, those two, as well as Geiger, have got to put some points on the board, and they have been doing it, doing a nice job. Now, how about the turnovers, and then also the fast break points here right now? Now, you say, well, Philly is forcing all the turnovers, but they're not getting any points. That's correct. That's why they have to start paying attention. Instead of being up 8 right now, they could be up anywhere to 15 or 16 if they would have converted in the painted area.
Well, Allen Iverson will try to see if he can raise it up to 15-16. He'll come into the game for the 76ers. Ratliff committing the personal foul, and Tyrone Hill leaves the game. Anderson with a good fake on McKee. And they leave Ike Austin open from the corner. Austin, who has given the Magic a lot of things but not rebounding, and that's what they wanted from their center this year. But Austin now with his second basket of the game, and Philadelphia up by a half a dozen.
Well, they continue to catch Philly helping out with his man, the defender. So Ike Austin goes to the open area, and he's been able to make the shots.
Here is McKee shooting over Anderson. And here comes Orlando. So you can see Orlando continues to trap running 2 guys at Allen Iverson.
See, Dick, the thing that's the most amazing to me is in Game 1, Philly got 24 offensive rebounds. And now you see in Game 2 and 3, how did they do that? Because Orlando continues to hold them to 1 shot.
Outlaw with a block, and here is Anderson to get the easy basket. So when you want to say, how do you get easy baskets? Number 1, turnovers and block shots, and Outlaw showed it there.
Anytime that a guard goes to the rim for a layup, the other guard and small forward must rotate back. That's the cardinal rule of transition defense.
Nick Anderson and Darrell Armstrong, each with 7 points to lead the Magic, who are now down by only 4 points. They were down by as many as 12. Matt Geiger fighting his way in. Ratliff trying to keep it alive.
Get it out.
And now a steal by Iverson. And Iverson goes in. And Ratliff finally is held out of bounds. No foul. And Iverson seems to be shaken up as he is grabbing his right leg. Iverson is hurt. A great steal by the quick Iverson, and he went up for the shot immediately, and he's having trouble getting up from the floor. And this could be a serious situation for Philadelphia.
Now, watch to the right of the screen. You'll see him shoot the gap right here. Now, he steals the ball, and instead of giving the ball up, he goes in, and as he comes down, he lands right on that right hip area. But, you know, when you see that happen, Dick, when it's a 2-on-1 situation, if you give it up, the other guy will score. If the defender recovers and goes over the play, the man will give it right back to you, and you have an uncontested layup, and you miss this collision.
That is his 4th steal, but you know what? That is not Allen Iverson's style.
I realize that. But you know what happens? It's the old story of when you're great, you make everyone else look better also. And that was the situation right now, that you could have given a layup to a teammate, and that guy would appreciate what you just did. Right? Unfortunately now, he's a little red, you know, because he didn't get the pass. And then what happens? You get injured, and now what happens? You get a foul on it, and we still didn't get 2 points.
Well, before it was a 2-on-1, and he passed up a pass to Larry Hughes to take the shot himself. Iverson this time hits. Iverson has taken 12 shots already in this game, has hit 5, and is 32 to 26.
That's why we bring out this point. See, he averages 22 shots a game during the season, #1 in the league. He's averaging 22 a game in the playoffs.
And a whistle and an offensive foul called against the Magic. So yet another turnover against Orlando. They have turned over a bundle. And the second personal foul on Ike Austin. George Lynch comes back in, and Radlick will sit down.
Ike Austin was setting a down screen. It was a moving screen. Good call by the referees. They're not going to allow anybody to headhunt the man, you know, to free somebody up. They've been very consistent.
All right, Craig Sager, what do you have?
Well, Lenny Curry, the trainer, said that Allen Iverson either has a bruised hip or a hip pointer. He won't know till halftime.
And that's where they'll check it. Meanwhile, Iverson stays in the game. And here is Darrell Armstrong to Outlaw, finding the open man Anderson, and the quick foul before the shot.
Yeah, Bo Outlaw got it right in the face. He really got popped. When he made the catch in the lane, he caught the ball and he passed the ball to the right, and he took a shot. Just keep an eye on it. Look to the left of your screen right now. You're going to see as he catches it, he sees the defender as he puts it off. Keep an eye here. Bam, there it is. He gets caught right on the left side of his face.
Aaron McKee committing the foul, and a timeout with 4:32 to go in the first half. Philadelphia by 6. The Sixers lead 32 to 26. There's a bandage on Bo Outlaw, who was hit by Aaron McKee. The Orlando Magic, who have shot only 44%, better than they've shot in the series, really, but 16 turnovers and now 17 turnovers, and yet they're in the game, Hubie. Down by only 6. What's keeping him in it?
Yeah, first of all, the rebounding. The rebounding has been excellent. They've been holding the Philly to 1 shot, and they have a +9 in boards themselves. So that's been very, very sound. The big thing right now, Chuck Daly wants to play. Hey, just play him even now for the last 4 minutes, and everything will be okay.
George Lynch on the offensive rebound converts.
First basket. First, second shot basket of this half.
This is a team that had 24 offensive rebounds against the Magic in Game 1.
That's right. It's a major, major step.
Armstrong has Harpring, is picked up by Hughes. Tough for Harpring. Tough matchup for him. Here's Armstrong firing. Iverson got a piece of it, and Outlaw fighting, and Harpring crashing the boards. What furious play we're seeing. In every instance, wherever the ball is, there are 3 or 4 players trying to get a piece of it or block the shot. I don't remember the last time we've seen a playoff game with 2 teams playing reckless.
I know. First of all, you almost got that one. The ball was short, caught part of the hand. That could have been a foul. But Harpring and Outlaw give you so much energy. They are the 2 guys, along with Doliak, who turned the game around in the second quarter of Game 2. And here they are again. They're bringing this group back with tough defense, fast break basketball when you think about it, and then pounding the offensive glass at their end of the floor.
And Harpring has 7 rebounds as Geiger goes out, replaced by Tyrone Hill. 7 boards for Harpring. So as we talk about the great experience that Orlando has, they have players with 6 championship rings. two rookies, Goliak and Harpring, are really carrying their load off the bench.
Yeah, and Outlaw, here he is again. See, you just love this guy.
Well, he doesn't have a ring.
Oh, that's right. Well, first of all, he's never even drafted, right? We got to give him a ton of credit. And, you know, he played in the CBA, and then he came out of it, and he made his mark with the Los Angeles Clippers.
Darrell Armstrong firing away from three, and George Lynch gets it in the hands of Eric Snow. Wind down to 3 minutes remaining in the first half. The lead is 7 for Philadelphia. The Magic have never been in front in this game. And there is a great spin move by Hill, and it's tipped in by Iverson.
He said, look, I'll shoot as many air balls as I like because I'm going to do some sensational things here tonight. And that was. He came from nowhere to tap that in.
And the NBA scoring champion at 6 feet, 165 pounds.
Steal.
And that is steal number 5 for Iverson. Allen Iverson doing it at both ends in this game. And Eric Snow driving in, and they're going to call the holding foul against the Magic. So there's Philadelphia, 12 steals, 5 of them by Allen Iverson, who is playing with an injured hip, as Craig Sager pointed out, either a hip pointer or a bruised hip. Ike Austin, the starting center for the Magic, picking up his 3rd personal foul.
You look at Iverson, everybody knows that the young man led the league in scoring, but they do not talk about the fact that he led the league in minutes played, right at 42 minutes. Then he's 3rd in the league in steals. So when you put Allen with Snow and Lynch, you have 3 of the best guys in the league at stealing the basketball. They run the old, turn you off a dribbler, come from the weak side. It's just beautiful basketball, and then get out the open floor. But you wish they'd shoot a higher percent.
Lynch with the reverse layup, but guess who's come in the game? Dominique Wilkins in his 15th year. And Dominique Wilkins, who can score for you and score in a hurry, has appeared in only 27 games since being signed as a free agent early in February.
Well, that's what Chuck is looking for right here. He'll only pass unless he's stopped. They see he'll try to force, but they have some shot line. Look up, look up.
Here is Iverson, and he gets in the score. 16 points for Allen Iverson, and Dominique Wilkins got to realize, boy, this is a quick young team he's going up against.
Yeah, but you see, Dick, look at it as a coach. That was a post-up guy at a shot block. Where were your 2 guards? Where were the perimeter guys getting back?
Harpring misses, and Grant loses the ball to Snow. It's a 3-on-2. Aaron McKee takes it to the basket, but he'll be called for the charge, the offensive foul against McKee. Is this the way you used to coach the Kentucky Colonels?
No, wait, Dick, look. That was just another 2-on-1. And that should have been a layup. Instead of Iverson going to the rim for the layup, he ran to the corner for a 3. So the guy with the basketball says, there's a defender out that way. Now I've got to take it to the rim, and you get an offensive foul call.
Well, it may not be pretty, but it's pretty exciting to the crowd here as Larry Brown talking with Allen Iverson here.
The guy Naismith upstairs in the land of blue. He's looking at this and saying, I thought it was a simple game. We'd like to show you that last fast break. Here's the basketball here, and here is the defender. Defender's going to come back. See, if Iverson would continue, you had a 2-on-1. But instead of him going to the corner, the defender stays with the basketball. You're not having him make a decision. And what happens? He gets a piece of you, and you get an offensive foul. That should have been a 2-on-1 layup. Now, that's the 3rd time in this half that they had that opportunity and came up with a negative.
That's why you have gray hair, Hubie Brown, watching this, and I know that basic basketball.
You're negating all of this great energy that you're expending at the defensive end of the floor, so you should be getting layups at the other end.
And Eric Snow going up in a foul called against the Orlando Magic. And it's on Penny Hardaway, his first. Hardaway has yet to score tonight, and that's a story here. 0 for 2 from the field, no points, and the team down by 13. Right now, the Sixers enjoying their biggest lead of the game. Coming up on the AT&T halftime, scores and highlights from around the league. Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, what a great job they've done in the studio. Yeoman work for them. We'll be joined by the Sonics' Gary Payton in our Atlanta studio, and Eric Snow, who was the 4th guard behind Payton, and Nate McMillan And Greg Anthony getting his opportunity now. Snow with 6 points. 42-27, a 15-point lead for Philadelphia with a minute to go in the first half.
Now, this is one of the very few times that Hardaway's been able to even make a catch of the basketball.
On the blocking foul, and the Sixers are over the limit, and so Hardaway will have to get his first points from the free throw line.
This is one of the few isolations where Philly did not come immediately in trap. Now, you saw the trap man came down, but he was late. That allowed Hardaway to make the split. And when you're teaching defense, the man who's coming on the trap is responsible to eliminate the splitting of the two defenders. Now, Hardaway right now, you got to give Larry Brown and the staff a lot of credit. They've been running hard, getting the ball out of his hands, and Orlando has not been able to refine him in ball rotation.
Hardaway is going to the line 27 times in this series, nearly twice as much as any player on either team. And he was driving to the basket in game number 2 as Snow missing the layup and a 3-on-1, but a loose ball picked up by Allen Iverson. Here is Snow looking at Horace Grant. He's not going to shoot over him. Larry Hughes over Dominique Wilkins.
What a play!
Larry Hughes with the most spectacular basket in a first half of spectacular plays. Some have exploded and some have worked, and it is now 44-29 with a half a minute to go in the first half, and a block by Hughes as Armstrong drove to the basket, and Larry Hughes, who obviously relishes defensive play.
Well, you just have to love this guy. Now watch the block, and yet he still has enough strength to get it back, readjust to make the release, and at the other end he catches up with that block. Now you can see him tonight defensively. He is really an excellent team defensive player.
And that was Nick Anderson, who was going body to body with Larry Hughes on the offensive end, and the crowd giving Larry Hughes and the Sixers a standing ovation for their defensive play, and Allen Iverson in midcourt with his arms upraised, urging the crowd as well.
Well, you love what Larry Brown said to you and I today, and that was, hey, this is all so new to all of our players. They're bubbling with enthusiasm. We run helter-skelter. We rely on our defense first because we want everyone to be a team defensive guy. If a guy gets beat, you got to hustle and help. But that's all that they put the emphasis on here is the defensive end, and then hope that something good will happen at the other end of the floor.
And I think that if you're a fan, you've got to accept some of those errant passes and bad shots and bad decisions with this kind of up-tempo, elter-skelter play, because this is kind of unseen in the NBA in many years, wouldn't you say?
Well, think of their front line. Lynch, Geiger, Ratliff, Hill, they're all new to the team. Larry Hughes only played 1 year of college basketball, and Snow was sitting on the bench in Seattle.
And where was Dominique Wilkins at the time as he hits the jumper and gets into the scoring column?
Yeah, well, Chuck is trying to melt Dominique here in hopes that he could give his team a little shot in the arm.
Playing for the final shot of the first half, Snow misses, and Iverson on the follow. It was an air ball, and Allen Iverson alertly puts it in. He has 18 points as the first half ends, and the Philadelphia 76ers will go into intermission with a 15-point lead and a tremendous sizzling defense that forces 20 turnovers and holds the Orlando Magic to a measly 36% shooting. Welcome back to halftime at the First Union Center. The first playoff game in Philadelphia in 8 years, and the 76ers trying to take a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series against Orlando, leading the Magic 46-31. Who takes center stage? No one else but Allen Iverson. A whirling dervish and a bundle of energy, but a lightning-quick bundle of energy. Going up high, 6 feet, 165 pounds, 6 steals in this game, making some improbable plays. And Allen Iverson tonight with 18 points and 6 steals on 8-4-15 shooting. But a big story for the Magic. They've turned it over 20 times thanks to 14 steals by the 76ers. And you're looking at the shooting percentage. Orlando once again struggling from three-point range. So as we sift through some of the exciting things and sometimes ragged, but I tell you, it's got the crowd on its edge of their seats tonight. Tell me, why is Philadelphia where they are with a 15-point lead?
Dick, they're only shooting 40%, but that's what they shoot during the year. They force 20 turnovers. They have 13 more shots. That's what it's all about. You can shoot a low percentage, but you got to get more shots. They're winning the battle of the paint, 26 points to 12. Now, with all the fast breaks, they only have 6 points on fast breaks. If they ever get that together, watch out. They'll blow you right out of the building.
And Penny Hardaway, no field goals yet in this game, and that was one of the topics that Craig Sager took up a few minutes ago with Chuck Daly.
Well, Coach, the team has 20 turnovers, and Penny Hardaway has only 2 field goal attempts. How do you shake up the offense and get the ball through him?
Well, I would say that we're in trouble. You know, everybody has an opportunity to share the ball. The turnovers, you can't turn the ball up, but you got to credit them. Their intensity on defense and their double teaming and going down court has created a problem for us, and we need to handle the ball a little bit better in the backcourt and in the front court.
Feel lucky to be only down 15?
Yes and no. I thought we were hanging around there at 7-8, 7-8, 10, and then they got a little burst. But, hey, it's playoff basketball. Wild game.
Yes, it is. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
Very wild game, and there you're looking at the comparison tonight thus far. Penny Hardaway and Allen Iverson. Hardaway, as Craig mentioned, 0 for 2 from the field. Turned it over 4 times. Iverson with 18 points. You know he's going to take a lot of shots. 6 steals, 1 turnover, but he triggers this exciting team.
When you look at the Sixers tonight, Iverson's 8 for 15. The rest of this team is only 11 for 33. They're shooting 33%.
George Lynch beating Theo Ratliff with the basket at halftime. Iverson with 18 is the leading scorer. Lynch is next with 8 for the Magic. Darrell Armstrong and Nick Anderson each with 7 leading Orlando. Penny Hardaway double team now, and a steal by Iverson. Hardaway lost it, and Iverson lays it in. Great steal once again. That is the 7th steal of the game by Allen Iverson, and is a 19-point lead for the 76ers. And if Orlando doesn't get off to a good start early in the third, this could get really ugly.
Well, I'm going to give you an incredible stat. Hardaway has 5 turnovers, and Armstrong has 7. The 2 point guards that handle the ball of 12 turnovers between them.
Nick Anderson, though, hitting a 3-point play, and he has 10 points in the game. Here is Iverson, and he throws a bad pass to Anderson, and he is immediately fouled by Eric Snow.
Now, that was a smart play as long as you're not in foul trouble. Snow realized that they had an uncontested layup going the other way on this play. And so he just fouls the man so that they cannot get the pass out for the layup.
Anderson with Hardaway, Armstrong, Horace Grant, and Ike Austin. Armstrong in traffic in the lane, blocked by Ratliff. Anderson gets the rebound, or loose ball, and it winds up to Ike Austin. And finally Ratliff. So the Magic still down by 16 points. Iverson double team, splits it. Snow back to Iverson, basket. Nearly went through, but a good ball handling by the backcourt of Philadelphia.
Now, at the beginning of this quarter, Dick, Iverson has taken a couple of traps. He went to the corner into the Ratliff layup. Now, on this one, give and go. He took it, took the trap, gave it up, and continued right down, and Snow gave it right back to him. Snow is making some nice decisions here.
And Allen Iverson gives him a lot of credit, says the best thing that ever happened in my career was Eric Snow coming here and becoming the point guard. Didn't really work out with Iverson being the chief ball handler. He's the shooting guard, and Snow gladly taking over the point guard duty.
Well, I like what Larry Brown said. He said that Snow is not near where he is going to be. He's really learning how to be a point guard. And Larry just feels in another couple of years, this young guy is going to be right up there.
He just needs some time, and Larry Brown would know, being one of the outstanding point guards in his time. 21 points for Iverson, and the Sixers get it back. Very frustrating game for the Orlando Magic, being out quick with all the steals, turnovers, and all the things that brings. And Allen Iverson going up with the shot is fouled. So Iverson will go to the line. He has 21 points, and he'll shoot 2. Horace Grant picking up his 2nd foul of this 3rd quarter, gives him 3 in the game.
You look at this young man's game. See, he takes the physical pounding night in and night out. He gets to the line 10 times a game during the season. Now that's right up there with Shaq, Karl Malone, Morning. He's right there with all of these big guys. Now you know they can take that physical beating. This young man is only 6 foot. He's 160 pounds, and he takes this hammering, and yet he has the stamina to lead the league in 42 minutes a game.
Well, in talking with Larry Brown, as Iverson misses both, he says he doesn't mind as long as he's in the game. The one thing he doesn't like is to be out of the game, and he once said, look, as long as you don't break my bones and I missed action, I don't mind getting hit. I'll get up. Nick Anderson with a jumper. So Anderson now with 5 points here in the third quarter, trying to bring the Magic back. It is a 15-point game, and that's what it was at intermission. Hardaway is guarding Snow. Geiger, who was 1 for 5 shooting in the first half. Here's Ratliff over Austin. And Darrell Armstrong. I'll tell you one thing the Magic guards do is rebound. All of them do well.
Yes, they do. And anytime that you have 2 guards the size of Hardaway and Anderson, they're your 3rd and 4th top rebounders.
Here's Nick Anderson hitting another 3, so that is his 2nd here in the third quarter. 3rd in the game, 15 points for Nick Anderson, silencing the crowd. The lead is down to 12.
Yeah, the main thing right now is if you're going to allow Orlando to come down and set up without disrupting them, then you have to be very careful because they can run that hot streak.
George Lynch guarded by Anderson with 4 on the shot clock. And the time running down on the clock. Lynch is in trouble, and the clock expires. 24-second clock expires, and Larry Brown's 76ers, who are up by 19 at one point, and now the Magic in a position to get it down to 10 or 9.
The reason why Anderson is opening up so much is that Lynch is getting caught trying to help out on rotation on plays on the opposite side of the floor.
Anderson's been hot. Lynch now getting to him quicker. Anderson with 8 points here in the third quarter, but Ike Austin working his way up and under, and Horace Grant misses the follow, and he beats Lynch to the ball, gets knocked into the crowd, and a pushing foul called against George Lynch. A good call, you're right, and good hustle by Horace Grant, QB.
If you notice, they are allowing Ratliff to play Austin one-on-one. And the reason for that being that Ratliff is the 3rd leading shot blocker in the league at 3 a game, and he can handle him.
Larry Hughes has checked into the game. Geiger goes out, and Iverson with another steal. He's got 8 steals in this game. Iverson going around Hardaway, and Larry Hughes cleans up for Philly. What a spectacular show by the 76ers, who again raise their lead to 14.
They fronted the post man. When they threw the lob, Iverson came from the other side of the lane to make that steal.
8 steals for Iverson. Nick Anderson, who has hit a couple of threes here in the third quarter, misses from that range. And Snow working his way in the corner. Iverson misses the 3-point shot. Still alive, and Hill, Tyrone Hill, gets the offensive rebound. Leaves it for Hughes to Ratliff. And the follow, Iverson, is it blocked by Austin. And once again, I tell you, what a show this is. Ratliff missed the follow-up, and finally a foul, and the crowd giving the Sixers a standing ovation for so many different things tonight.
Yeah, this is young legs, and playing at home. Great pass by Hughes, a terrific block. Orlando answers the bell here. They block 2 shots, put pressure on that one, a 3rd, and then just keep an eye on this right there. The hand went out and caught and pushed them right in the chest.
Penny Hardaway with the 2nd personal foul for him, and Ratliff on the free throw line. And if you're the Orlando Magic, you would like an intermission after 3 quarters, as well as after the 2nd.
No, they continue to put the pressure on you. They wear you down.
One place where the Sixers have struggled, well, shooting is one, but 8 for 15 from the free throw line. They were 23rd in the NBA in free throws, so Ratliff makes 1 out of 2. It's 54-39 in favor of the Sixers. They have led all the way. And the kick ball And a new clock for the Magic.
So if you're watching now, this is called defense. It's called run and jump. Anytime that the point guard gets the ball handler to stop. You stop this.
And Nick Anderson is wondering what he has to do to get the ball in, knowing that Iverson is lurking. And Ann Iverson, Allen's mother, is wiggling and waggling and having a great time in the first row. 9 steals, an NBA record in a playoff game for Allen Iverson. He wanted to hear it from the crowd. He's been hearing it from his mom for a long time. And a timeout. What a show put on by Allen Iverson tonight. The Sixers lead 56-39. We'll be right back. Amazing.
We'd like to show you the interception by Iverson. Here's the basketball here. The postman is here, and he's being fronted. Now, they are going to throw a lob pass. This is Iverson over here. Watch him come and get a piece of this. It's just great anticipation. You see, he's sizing it up, and there he makes his move. Now, sure, he misses the layup at the other end, but Larry Hughes, once again, coming right down the middle of the floor. There it is right there. And the young man is really a skywalker, I'll tell you.
Hey, we ought to have a camera on Allen Iverson and just follow him wherever he goes, including in the timeouts. Here's Hardaway firing away and finally gets his first field goal, and it comes with just under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 4 points for Penny.
You're Orlando, you're coaching. All you're trying to do is tell you guys, look, let's get it down to 9 or 10 so maybe we can make a strong run in this fourth quarter.
Eric Snow with a runner in the lane. Snow, who is encouraged to shoot more, and this time driving in the lane now with 8 points. 58-41, a 17-point Sixer lead. Their biggest lead was 19 earlier here in the third. Nick Anderson working in, and it's blocked by Hill. Tyrone Hill with the block, and Snow coming right back. Finds Hughes on the baseline, and he stuffed it through. He's a rookie, folks, and this is a young team.
See, they don't give up. They keep pushing. They push for 48 minutes, see? You might defend them for a period of time, but in this building, they're tough.
Armstrong in and out, the rebound by Hughes. This is a scary exhibition put on by the 76ers. Scary in a good way.
Well, we're dealing with the team that only lost 17 games this year. And they're just completely neutralizing them at the offensive end of the floor and making things happen.
There's Snow with a lay-in. 10 points for Snow. It is 62-41. A 21-point lead now, and the white towels are waving here at the First Union Center.
Yeah, see, Orlando needs some energy at the defensive end of the floor, not the offense. They've got to make some things happen defensively.
And Hughes very nearly stole another one. Here is Austin, and the rebound by Larry Hughes. Is he a rookie or a sixth-year man?
He is really some talent.
Oh, he is going to be a star in this league. No question about it.
Larry Brown and his staff were very, very high on him.
He was the 8th pick out of St. Louis, and there is the
yes. Look
this
out.
time from Snow to Hughes. Listen to this place. It's as loud now as it was in the early 80s with Dr. J and all the rest. They haven't won anything yet. And I'll tell you what, there's excitement back in Philadelphia in the NBA.
Now this is just a beautiful read by Snow. This is the third dunk on a lob coming from the right side that Hughes has been able to put down.
Sixers on a 13-2 run. Allen Iverson, 23 points, but has set an NBA playoff record with 9 steals. And about 8 different people had 8, including Maurice Cheeks, his assistant coach with the 76ers. Rick Barry, Tim Hardaway twice had 8 steals, but that's wiped out now thanks to Allen Iverson's 9. After the timeout by Chuck Daly, Nick Anderson has been the only offense for Orlando here in this third quarter. Draws the foul, and it's against Larry Hughes, his first. So Iverson with 23, Hughes has 12, and Eric Snow next with 10.
Now Nick Anderson has taken it upon himself right now to try to bring the team back by himself. And what you're trying to do right now is, come on, you got to hit the cutters. Now they passed up 2 cutters before Anderson went one-on-one that were open, coming off the screen, going down into the lane.
Nick Anderson, the only member of the Magic to hit double figures. He has 17 points. Darrell Armstrong is next with 7. And, of course, Penny Hardaway, 4. Tyrone Hill with the pass to Hughes, slapped away by Nick Anderson.
Well, they're going to come out now. Maybe out of this timeout, we're going to see Orlando go back to trapping of any player who has the basketball.
And I'm sure Chuck Daly says, do you want to really be embarrassed the rest of this game? Anderson fouled. And once again, it was Larry Hughes with the personal foul, his second. What an exhibition put on by the Philadelphia 76ers, who are up by 8 after 1 quarter, 15 at the half, and open up a 23-point lead. Magic coming back somewhat, but Anderson misses the free throw.
You love the organization. This is the type of defense that Larry Brown ran in the old ABA when he coached in Denver. They ran the Carolina run and jump. That's something that Dean Smith put in way back in the early years at the University of North Carolina. Larry ran this defense when he had all those young players with Denver. Now, this group, young legs. Now, you think now, they play this type of defense for 50 games, and now they're showing it to you in playoff time. Good thing about the playoffs, you got a day in between games to rest up.
There is Hill wide open in the corner. Tyrone Hill making good on the basket, and Larry Brown, who has brought 6 different teams to the NBA playoffs. The first coach to accomplish that, but he did it in either the first or the second year he was at each stop, and that is impressive. Penny Hardaway hitting a 3, and the Sixers lead is 19.
When you have young teams, you have to stay on top of them now because you want them to continue the intensity. You want them not to lull themselves to sleep and think the game is over.
And Hill trying to pass off, and Hardaway guilty of the foul. Bo Outlaw will come into the game for the Orlando Magic, and Aaron McKee for the Sixers, and a hand for Snow. And Hughes will see who comes out of the game for Philadelphia, and a timeout called by the Sixers. It's been 8 years since Philly has been in the playoffs, and they're making the most of their return tonight. 66-47, Sixers lead with 3:34 to go in the third quarter. Allen Iverson not the only hero for Philadelphia.
Yeah, Larry Hughes at 6'5", a rookie, 8th pick in the draft. Now he puts down 3 of those. This is just upper body strength, strong move. Now here he comes down. I told you 6'5", long arms. He plays like he's 6'8", 6'9". The thing I like about him is he can finish. And he is an outstanding defender and an excellent team defender. There's a big difference because the team defenders not only can play their man, they stay within the rotations, they help out the other players, and they get back and shut down their people.
And the first St. Louis Billiken to be chosen in the first round of the NBA draft since Sacramento selected Anthony Bonner back in 1990, who was the 23rd pick. He was the 8th. Here is Ratliff. And the offensive rebound is missed inside by Hill. Comes down to the hands of Darrell Armstrong. Winding down to 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dick Stockton, Huey Brown, and Craig Sager in what has been one of the more entertaining playoff games that we've seen in the first round in years. Hardaway missing and Snow coming out of the pack for the Sixers. Here's Iverson's quickness to the hoop. Ratliff, they're trying to tie him up, and they do. Good hustle. Hardaway was one of the Magic players in there, along with Bo Outlaw, and let's see who will jump with him. Maybe Penny.
What I liked about that break is they must continue to keep the pressure on Orlando. You do not want to just, come in with the semi-break. You want to open up your engines and keep going for this last 2 minutes and 52 seconds because your big men are quicker than their big men, and you'll get the second and third shots.
How about their little men? Are you quicker than their little men?
Well,
too?
that's a given. That is a given.
That's a rhetorical question. Anderson. And the feed to Armstrong. And a turnover traveling called. Yet another turnover, and that's 25. They had 20 at the half, did the Orlando Magic.
Well, it's just a bad night for Penny Hardaway and Armstrong in the backcourt in regards to turnovers because they are just putting them up one after the other. Now that has to be at least 8 for Armstrong.
George Lynch checking into the game, and Penny Hardaway has 5 turnovers So you're right about that. The guards have not protected the ball. And McKee beating Hill. You know, this is a kind of a game. All of a sudden, the ball is lost in the crowd, and all of a sudden, a white-shirted Sixer slams it through.
See, they're so quick to the ball.
I mean, you really got to watch the ball here.
Pretty
Outlaw
pass.
with a great move. Bo Outlaw. I'll tell you, Outlaw, who brought the Magic back in Game 2, and he may have to do more of the same Saturday in Game 4.
Now this is a pretty pass, a pinpoint pass by Penny Hardaway as Bo Outlaw changed direction and came along the baseline. Right on the money.
Radliff committing the foul, and he goes out of the game. So right now, with Allen Iverson back in the game for the Sixers, they have a Snow and Iverson at guard, and up front, they have Hill, Lynch, and McKee. So a small team out there for the 76ers.
What you're trying to do, Dick, is you just do not want to see any slippage in this last 2 minutes to give Orlando big hope at the beginning of that fourth quarter.
Dan Shays has come in the game for the Orlando Magic. He turned 40 years old on May the 10th, but he's out there. Allen Iverson hitting a three. Iverson with his second from downtown has 26 points. That's my boy, says Ann. And it is 71-50, so a 21-point lead again. Anderson hitting the shot. Nick Anderson doing what he can to keep the Magic somewhat in this game, although it's looking dim for them. He has 13 points here in the third quarter and 20 in the game.
No, Nick has really answered the bell since halftime. He's doing an excellent job coming off screens, opening up wide.
Eric Snow with the miss, but there's George Lynch. And they're going to call it for the travel.
See, in the NBA, that will never be called a travel. They allow you to hit the floor as long as you do not try to make an advancement of the basketball. And he did, as he hit the floor.
Call the timeout.
He called the timeout.
Very alert. 22nd timeout. And while we have that 20 seconds, which is now down to 15, let's tell you about what's coming up on Turner Sports and the playoff action in progress. The Spurs and the Timberwolves on the TNT. Coming up next on TBS Superstation, the Pacers and the Bucks. Boy, Milwaukee almost won that game too, and very nearly could have evened that series, but now they face elimination at home against Indiana. That comes up next on TBS. And following the TNT battle between the Spurs and the Timberwolves, the Lakers go on the road to face the Rockets, and with all of their veterans, with Barkley and Pippen and Olajuwon, trying to avoid a sweep against the Lakers. What do you make of that series?
Well, you got to give the Lakers a lot of credit. They've really gelled. Not only are they scoring points, but this is the best defense of the season by the Laker team. They're getting good bench play, and listen, Shaq is playing big time. He's really doing a great job. And also now Rice is fitting into the picture.
They're getting him shots finally. I know what kind of weapon he is.
That's right.
1:10 to go. Here is Iverson going past two defenders and hits a rainbow shot. He can go past 5 people on a court. That's what Larry Brown feels. 28 points for Allen Iverson with under a minute to go here in the third quarter. A phenomenal performance by the NBA scoring champ. Here is Armstrong and Penny Hardaway for 3. He's got it. Hardaway hitting his second 3. He had no baskets at the half and 10 points now in the game.
Well, he's opening up, but they're making it difficult for him. They cut off the lane, and he is spotting up wide as well as Anderson. One is on the right side, one is on the left side.
It's an 18-point lead for the 76ers. Aaron McKee. Hill gets the offensive rebound. And now, using the clock, the differential is about 4.5 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. Iverson and Lynch gets the offensive rebound, and the quickness for Philadelphia giving him the offensive boards as well. You're right, the big people are quicker as well.
In the first half, Orlando did a sensational job in taking care of their defensive board. In that first half, Philadelphia, with all the advantages of the trapping, where they had 4 against 3, they only had 3 defenders, they held Philadelphia to 7 offensive shots. But the second half is catching up to them. They're wearing them down.
76ers with 8 offensive rebounds in the third quarter alone.
That's right. There you go.
Larry Hughes coming back in the game. He has had a big one, but none bigger than Allen Iverson, who gets a standing O as he goes to the bench. 28 points and an NBA record for the playoffs 9 steals. George Lynch, who began his career with the Lakers, played at Vancouver, makes both free throws, and it's a 20-point Philadelphia lead as they pressure the Magic full court with 16.2 seconds. They're going to make him work to get a shot off before the third quarter's history.
Main thing right now is no silly fouls.
Dan Shays with Outlaw, who handles the ball. Harpring, Penny Hardaway, and Armstrong. He loses the ball. And
time
here is McKee. McKee feeding Hughes and off Hughes. That is only the third turnover. For Philadelphia. And the Magic take over with 3.1 seconds to go. Hardaway has a shot off, and that'll do it. Allen Iverson sparking an exciting Philadelphia 76er team. They lead by 20 after 3.
With Allen Iverson and Larry Hughes leading the way, Philadelphia has a 20-point lead. We mentioned Larry Hughes being drafted. When he was drafted by Philly, he packed up Justin's little brother and Vanessa, his mom, moved to Philadelphia. We talked to Justin at the draft. Did you think it'd be this exciting, your brother would be this good?
Well, not really. I didn't think it was going to be this exciting. I didn't know we were going to make it to the playoffs.
Now that you're here, what are your thoughts about the big move that he made after just 1 year of college?
It's been trying. It's been pretty hard, but it's all worth it. We're excited and having fun.
After your heart transplant, you went to the White House, Justin. What's more exciting, going to the White House or going to a playoff game to see your brother play?
Playoff game. See my brother play.
I think you're probably right. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
That was great, Craig, about it. Justin didn't talk about his brother scoring points. He said we made the playoffs. That was the main thing. So he's thinking like a team guy. Just like Larry Hughes does. 75-55, 20-point lead. Early here in the fourth quarter, Matt Harpring finds the open Darrell Armstrong for 3. And a foul called. Good hustle by Eric Snow. And Darrell Armstrong committing the personal foul.
You see right there, Larry Brown is up and he's talking to Lynch. You know, don't take off. You know, don't take off. Help with the rebounding first. You know, what you're saying is, look, we have this foot quickness. We'll beat them in transition. But just don't leave us.
Since the playoff format went to a best-of-5 back in the 83-84 season, Sixers won the first game of the series in that round 6 times, and they have won those first-round series each time. That's a good omen for the 76ers, the young team, as Tyrone Hill picks up the second foul. The offensive foul. So, Hubie, once again, you know, in the beginning, we talked about how Orlando had all the experience in playoffs coming into this game.
Yeah, but what the other team has legs, the defense, and the ability to turn you over and then take advantage of it. Plus the fact that we said they're getting more shot attempts because of the turnovers and because of the offensive rebound. And that's what it's all about when you have young teams. They have difficulty shooting high percentages, especially young teams that play this type of defense. It takes a wear and tear over the season on the legs of the guys. And if you are starting off with just average shooters, then naturally, during the course of the year, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your lulls because of the fatigue factor.
Allen Iverson is going to come back in now to the cheers of the crowd. 28 points for Iverson. That last foul was on McKee, sending Harpring to the line. Philadelphia this year, with a record of 28 and 22, had 3 fewer victories in the 50-game schedule than they had all of last year in the 82-game slate.
Well, since Larry Brown has been here, the only player who still remains is Iverson. These are all of his type of players. This is such a tough style of play to coach because you've got to stay on top of your guys. If you have one guy out there slacking off, you cannot play this style. It's 5 guys on a string working hard, and then the coaching staff staying on top of them so that they remain unselfish.
2 more for George Lynch. He has 12 points, and once again a 20-point lead. And Larry Brown telling us yesterday that he doesn't make every decision that by committee. Billy King, the general manager, has done an outstanding job. As Shays misses from the corner, As Brown said, he frankly was not in favor of trading Tim Thomas to Milwaukee, but was overruled, and they got Tyrone Hill in the trade. Thomas was a favorite of his. But generally, those moves paid off, and generally they've come from Larry.
Well, it paid off because Hill has had a good year for them. He's big and strong, and at playoff time, you need guys who can match up inside.
And nearly a block, but they'll call the foul on Larry Hughes, his third, on Harpering's drive to the basket.
Now, once again, this is just a strong move by Harpering. Once he gets the pass up, you know he's taking it to the rim. Physical contact does not faze this guy.
So Harpering is on the free throw line. A diamond in the rough for Chuck Daly this year at Orlando. Physical player, and we talked about his background with his entire family being football players, including Harpering originally. Loves the contact, can rebound, and can shoot too. What a package.
When he went to Georgia Tech, he was 6'3". Over the summer, the guy grows. He turns out 6'7". Look at the size of him. In the history of Georgia Tech basketball, second leading scorer, second leading rebounder.
And he has 7 points tonight off the bench for the Magic, who trails 77-59. Here's George Lynch, has it blocked by Bo Outlaw. Oops. And they have 2 seconds on the clock. Hughes fires it up in desperation. And the rebound by Harpering. And Harpering fouled by Tyrone Hill. And Hill and Harpering going at it verbally. And Darrell Armstrong, who was at it earlier with Geiger, has to separate the two. Philadelphia leading Orlando by 18 points, but there's plenty of time to go, and not meaning to put a pin in the balloon of the Philadelphia 76ers. This team didn't get a 33-17 record for nothing. You can't get too comfortable if you're Philly.
Now, you see in game 2, Larry Brown almost around the same time period. He's down 19. They come out of a timeout. They go into the full court press. In Orlando, game 2, they get it all the way down to 7. Now, sure, they ran out of gas. But right now, let's see if Orlando will make their push, because it's got to happen pretty soon.
Yeah, real soon.
Yeah,
maybe right now if it's going to happen. Matt Harpering with Darrell Armstrong, Dan Shays, Bo Outlaw, and Penny Hardaway. Hardaway has scored 10 points tonight. Shays setting a screen. Matt Geiger in the game for Philadelphia, and Hardaway hitting a 3. That is the third. So Anderson and Hardaway each with 3 from beyond the arc, and now it is a 15-point game.
You know, it's interesting. All through 2.5 quarters, they had Hardaway handling the ball, running them off screens and everything. He couldn't get any shots. Now, by just standing on the right wing, he's opened up for all these threes.
But Aaron McKee comes right back inside the line, and a foul immediately on George Lynch. But you're right, Penny Hardaway just lurking, and he's getting a lot of open looks that he didn't have in the first half.
That's right, and it's kind of interesting because he's doing less in regards to effort, coming off screens, posting up, all of these things where he could not even get a shot off. Now just by standing on that right wing, things have opened up.
So Darrell Armstrong, who scored 7, makes good on the first one. On the playoff picture here on Turner Sports, game 3 underway. Spurs and Timberwolves series tied. TBS next, Pacers and Bucks, with Indiana trying to close it out at 3-0. You'll play the winner of this series in the Eastern semifinals. And then on TNT following Minnesota and San Antonio Lakers Rockets. That'll get underway around 9:30 Eastern. So a lot of playoff basketball yet to come on Turner Sports. Allen Iverson hits. So since the three-point barrage there by Hardaway, a couple of free throws, but McKee and Iverson hitting from the perimeter, and Iverson now has matched his game 1 scoring output with 30.
That was just sheer quickness on the baseline coming off the screen.
And Hardaway coming back off the rim, and the rebound by Hughes. Stealing it is Hardaway, and he scores. So Larry Hughes lost the ball to Penny Hardaway. And it's 81-66 still. A It's about 4 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter.
One thing you do in rebounding, you just cannot assume that the defense now is going all the way back down the floor.
Hardaway guarding Iverson. It's an air ball. And you wonder whether Allen was going to say, in your face, you're on me, Penny, watch what I do. But he fired from beyond the arc and he missed it badly. So now McKee is guarding Hardaway. They double team. Dan Chase finds Outlaw. Double team stripped away by Iverson. Allen Iverson with another steal for the 76ers.
Somebody's wide open. Somebody's wide open here.
How about George Lynch?
Mainly because the player who fell down was late coming back across half court. And you like that. They took the ball right up into the area where they could score, and they found the free man.
14 points for George Lynch. And the 76ers had no intention of letting the Orlando Magic to cut it to 7 points. And Hardaway missing again, and Iverson comes out with it. 17-point holds for the Philadelphia 76ers. Looking to take a 2-1 lead in the best of 5. And
barely.
Hughes has made 2 blunders here. And Harpring goes in. Basket counts. And a foul. Tell you, this Orlando team not giving up. They are hustling down in double digits.
See, all you do there is you make a mistake by throwing a one-handed pass. A one-handed pass in traffic doesn't get it done. At this end, if you're going to foul, you must foul him before he gets the ball up above his number, because he has such great upper body strength. Now it's a potential three-point play.
The crowd filing into the Bradley Center here in Milwaukee as we close in on Game 3 of this best of 5 between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. I'm Marv Albert. I'll be joined later on by Bill Walton. We'll have it all for you. Milwaukee trying to stay alive, hoping to bring it to a game number 4 over the weekend. We'll be back with all the action a little bit later on. Right now, let's get back to Dick and Hubie in Philadelphia.
All right, Marv, thank you very much. And all the Bucks could do is wonder what if they had won that game 2 in Indiana, they would be in the driver's seat. Now they're trying to survive.
Well, definitely the toughest loss for any team to take in the playoffs to date. That was a hard one because they had it in their pocket.
Here is a Geiger guarded by Doliak. And he hits the shot. Only 4 points for Geiger tonight. He had a monster of game number 1 with 23 points and 10 rebounds, but the Sixers are getting it done without a lot of production from their center, and Geiger trying to block Armstrong's shot, and Darrell Armstrong now with 11. So 4 players in double figures for the Magic, led by Nick Anderson's 20.
Well, they were in a 1 player with the ball high, 4 guys on the baseline. They were running some screens, stagger on the baseline, and the guy playing Armstrong fell asleep. He just blew right by him.
Aaron McKee comes back in, and Larry Hughes goes out as Bo Outlaw picks up the personal foul. So McKee will inbound. He's got Snow, Geiger, Hill, and Iverson. The Magic with Harpring, Doliak, Penny Hardaway, along with Darrell Armstrong and Bo Outlaw, who's got a bandage on his face after being hit earlier. And Harpring committing the foul on Snow from behind. Say Harpring and Doliak in the game at the same time, and they have bonded out of necessity. Doliak came from Salt Lake City with 1 big bag of clothes and a small bag, left the rest of his stuff in Salt Lake, and Harpring rented a U-Haul with his bedroom furniture, and by necessity, those 2 have really become good friends and good performers on the Magic.
Well, during the course of the year, they gave them between right around 15 points and solid rebounding in the playoffs. They're doing the same thing.
Here is Snow as the clock winds down to 6, and Geiger loses it in traffic, but McKee alertly has it. Here is Snow's shot at the 24-second clock about to expire. It is a 14-point lead, and the Magic with 5:20 to go still in this game.
Yeah, and they've got to keep going strong to the hole because they're shooting the penalty.
Here's Doliak inside, and Hill committing the foul, and will send Doliak to the line for Tyrone Hill, his 3rd personal.
See, during the course of the year, Doliak and Harpring gave them 15 points and 7 rebounds. And when you consider the fact that they both play like 22 and 16 minutes, that's a solid contribution.
Here's Doliak, who Sunday wants to be an orthopedic surgeon. and wants to attend medical school. And, you know, all the guys that come out of Utah are very well-mannered. Rick Majerus makes sure they are. Do you ever notice that?
Well, first of all, he has an awful lot of guys who have high grade point averages. Okay.
Andre Miller and, of course, Keith Van Horn. Some of the players, and Utah's had great teams as well.
Well, Rick Majerus, you know, one of the finest coaches that we have in the country, and we're talking about everything. He's not only a good defensive coach, he's a great offensive coach as well.
How about Snow finding Hill underneath for the easy stuff?
Well, see, any time that Philly stays in their motion, as long as they're moving and doing their back screening and cutting without the ball, good things are happening.
7 assists for Eric Snow. How did that ball get past Snow? Goliak puts the shot up, but a great rebound by Hill.
That was a terrific shot block by Geiger. He's the one that made that entire play happen.
Here is Snow driving the double team. Geiger and McKee trying to control it. 7 on the shot clock.
Plenty of time.
Here is Snow driving against 3 blue shirts. And they're going to call the personal foul.
See, on a play like that, you're hoping to get the call, and that's exactly what happened.
Goliak
got
with
the
his third.
call.
You're right.
Now keep an eye on Geiger here. Doliak's going to take it. Geiger's coming from the other side. And that was just strength, upper body strength, because Doliak was putting that one down with both hands.
So Eric Snow on the line. He wanted to wear number 13 when he came to Philadelphia. You couldn't wear that because that was Wilt Chamberlain's number. So that was retired.
Well, Wilt did a few numbers here.
How about
right?
number 2? Moses Malone, he wanted number 2, and then he wanted Mo Cheeks' number 10. So he finally ended up with number 20, trying to make his name with number 20, which, by the way, Gary Payton wore that number as well. There's Mo. Geiger goes out.
Unfortunately, those numbers are related back to 2 of the greatest teams in the history of the NBA. Okay.
But Eric Snow may not have remembered Wilt Chamberlain, who, by the way, was the last Sixer to win a scoring title before Allen Iverson won it this year.
Hey, in '83, when Moses Malone was MVP of the playoffs, and he just said, how's it going to go in the playoffs? Fall. That's how he said it, and he was wrong.
He was close.
Yeah, it was 4, and 4-1.
Well, I'll tell you what. You scared him.
Even though it was we had a great thing, but they took us out 4-0. All the games were decided by 7 points or less, and the 2 we lost in New York were heartbreakers. 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. But I give them a lot of credit. Moses Malone was absolutely spectacular. And back then, you know, they had Caldwell Jones or Bobby Jones at power forward, Dr. J at the small forward, and in the backcourt, 2 great guards, Mo Cheeks, and then the one that a lot of people forget about that I still think one of the best guards that I have ever seen play in this league, and that was Andrew Toney. He could do it all.
He's a great scorer, and he played much better defense than people gave him credit for. And I shouldn't say you scared him because they won in 4 straight, but they had to scrap.
Yeah, it was a great series. A terrific series. We had Bernard King and Billy Cartwright, Chuck Robinson. Guys did a great job for us.
Let's not forget Clint Richardson while we're doing all this. 88-73. The lead is 15, but time is starting to work against the Magic with under 4 minutes to go. Game 4 will be Saturday right here at the First Union Center. Lynch with a turnaround. Good move by Lynch, but he didn't get the bucket. And if there is a Game 5, it'll be Sunday in Orlando, a rare back-to-back matchup in different sites. Nick Anderson, and Anderson hitting his 4th from 3-point range, has 23 points. Still firing.
No, Nick is having a terrific second half. I mean, without his explosion, they would have been in a lot of trouble. You know, Nick came in here struggling, 3 for 18 in threes, but tonight he's put it all together.
16 points in the second half. Snow off balance. This is the shot. Good hustle by Lynch, and it was last touched by Harpring. Hey, these fans, when they go home tonight, will say, what an entertaining 2.5 hours we witnessed.
They have to pay attention here right now. You know, you're looking at the score, and it's still only a 12-point game, and you got over 3 minutes to go. And the way that Orlando can shoot the 3, they're always going to be dangerous.
They just get it out as the 5-second violation was about to be called. Iverson heads up with Armstrong.
The next foul is a penalty.
And Eric Snow hitting the jumper.
Nice look.
Under 3 minutes to go in the fourth. And a timeout called by Orlando. They've got one last shot at it with down by 14, just under 3 minutes to go. Coming up next on TBS, the Pacers and the Bucks from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Indiana leading 2-0 and trying to move on with a win on the road, and Milwaukee trying to stay alive. Matt Harpring will inbound with 2:50 to go. It's a 14-point lead for the 76ers. Armstrong working and going past Iverson, out of bounds, lost his footing. Last touch by Philadelphia.
Yeah, he was tripped in there, and fortunately there was not a foul called against the Philadelphia defense, because that would have been quick.
Harpring looking for someone to get it into, and he finds Outlaw, and Outlaw is fouled. McKee grabbing onto his right leg. Hits the floor hard. Tyrone Hill will be charged with the foul, his 5th personal, but McKee is shaken up. Earlier in the first half, Allen Iverson went down and seemed to suffer a bruised hip, but came out strong in the second half.
Now he rotates, and you're going to see it right there. It's a knee to the thigh. It was a knee to the thigh. You can see the knee right there. All right, and he hit him right inside. Now this could be a very difficult injury for Philly, mainly because McKee has been playing so well as a backup point guard to Snow. That keeps Iverson in the position of always being off the ball.
And he's had a steady game, as you saw, with 5 assists to go along with 4 rebounds, but he now is helped to the bench in obvious pain. We'll get a report from Craig. Bo Outlaw, and actually he will go into the locker room. Outlaw missing the first free throw.
Yeah, when you get a blow in that area, it's so difficult to come back, and they need him. And especially if it goes to 5 games, because they'd have to play on Saturday and Sunday, which we just brought up a few minutes ago.
1 out of 2 for Outlaw. The lead is 13 for the 76ers. Here in the fourth quarter, their biggest lead tonight, 23 points. And they have not allowed the Magic to make a run here in the second half. Larry Hughes, who replaced McKee, driving against Harpring. Rebound Anderson. Outlet to Darrell Armstrong. Snow is back. Hardaway finds an open Anderson for 3. And this time an air ball. Harpring tries to save up into the hands of Iverson. And here is Lynch. And the foul. Basket will count. And the foul as well. It was a weak attempt to prevent Lynch from getting the shot. And as a result, George Lynch can convert a 3-point play.
Now, you're absolutely right, Dick. Now, this is a very, very weak foul. But a nice, strong move by Lynch. And the fact that he crossed under, even if he thought that the player was going to block his shot, he would knock him off by coming up on the other side of the rim.
16 points for George Lynch, who had only 2 after the first quarter. And Allen Iverson, with all of the good things he's done tonight, 5 assists, 30 points, 10 steals, an NBA playoff record, and Iverson's only turned it over twice. Pretty good work tonight after 12 turnovers in the first 2 games of the series, 6 in each of them. 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Darrell Armstrong showing some quickness, going right past Iverson.
Well, he can do that anytime. I mean, when they're matched up without a trap, Iverson cannot handle him off the dribble. The thing which has really hurt him tonight and hurt the team are the turnovers between he and Hardaway, when you think about it. That has to be corrected on Saturday.
140 to go, 93-79 is the score. Tyrone Hill throws up a desperation shot just before the 24-second clock expired. And here is Hardaway firing for 3, and he's got it. Penny Hardaway, along with Nick Anderson, each have hit 4 from downtown. 18 points for Hardaway, who had only 2 points at the half.
Right now, see, you're inside of 10, so the one thing you do not want to do is you want to get them to miss. You're hoping, but unfortunately...
You know what? Every time the Orlando Magic had a slither of hope, one of the Sixers, in this case Allen Iverson, breaks their spirit. Iverson with 33 points as Armstrong drives to the basket. And Iverson taking 28 shots, one less than he took in game one when he scored 30. And this crowd sensing the 76ers winning their first home playoff game in 8 years. Lynch goes out. Hill goes out. Rick Mahorn comes into the game for the 76ers. And the last time the 76ers played here in a playoff game, it was against the Bulls, and Rick Mahorn was one of the 5 starters for Philadelphia, along with Charles Barkley, Percy Hawkins, Ricky Green, and Armin Gilliam was the 5th starter. 12-point lead with a minute remaining. Crowd cheering Rick Mahorn's entry into the game. Harpring fouling Hughes with the foul on Harpring. Let's check in now with Craig.
Well, Dick, right now, Aaron McKee is being examined by Dr. John McPhillippy. He came out and told trainer Lenny Courier that it appears to be a deep thigh bruise, but it also started to spasm, so they can't really evaluate it right now. But the initial report is a deep thigh bruise.
That's always a difficult injury.
Not only do you need him to direct your unit when you take snow out, he does the job. He had good size, but he was an excellent defender. And also one of your key guys in your trapping and shooting and rotating. So this will put a strain on the small clock.
Allen Iverson, 43 minutes tonight, 33 points, an NBA record for a playoff game, 10 steals, and 50% shooting on 14 of 28 as he electrified this crowd tonight. Now you know why Philadelphia is a team that no one wants to play.
Well, they feed off of his energy. And if he's having a decent night shooting, well, then they're going to be all over the place. And that helps pick up the stamina which is needed to play that type of defense.
And it was Nazir Mohammed, the rookie from Kentucky, who went into the game for Allen Iverson. As Larry Brown giving everyone a chance so far in the playoffs. Here is Mahorn. And the crowd getting everything tonight but a Mahorn foul or a Mahorn basket. As a bad boy in Detroit, was part of the Detroit Pistons, one of their 2 championships. There's Penny Hardaway, who finishes with 8 points. Goliak is fouled by Mahorn, so we got a foul from Rick Mahorn after all. The night would not be complete. Goliak will go to the line with 10.1 on the clock.
That's filling up the important stat.
That's right.
That's right.
Rick Mahorn, who went to high school with Allen Iverson's mom, Ann. I'm sure you're all aware of that now.
It's easy for Chuck Daly to show this team what his problems are. And they've just got to cut down on the turnovers and get themselves together. Now, they have a veteran ball club. He's going to show to them that in the second half, you didn't turn it over as much. And we probably played him halfway decent, even, all right? But so what we have to do is, you 2 guys, our main ball handlers, you got to protect this basketball and get us in our offense.
But it's going to be another, it's going to be another desperation game for the Magic, who had to win game 2 at home to draw even and have to win game 4 on the road to draw even. But a record night. Allen Iverson, 33 points, 10 steals, only 2 turnovers. What a package for the 6-foot Georgetown guard. Let's go over to Craig.
We began the night with Hubie Brown praising the way, not only your athletic ability, but the resiliency. You kept getting knocked down, kept getting back up. Tonight, seems like your teammates were watching your back, too.
Definitely. You know, we talked about that coming into the game, and we wanted to send a message to those guys. But, I mean, I've been getting knocked down all season, so it wasn't nothing new to me. You know, I just had a bad game in Orlando. Tonight, I just wanted to come out here and set the tempo with my teammates on defense, and the crowd was just great. Without the crowd, I don't think it could have been possible.
All right, you raced the playoff record book in your first playoff series. Mo Cheeks no longer is tied for the record in steals. You now have 10. What about the defense?
I mean, I just tried to step it up. Like I said, you know, my guys know that I'm going to look to put the ball in the basket, but it's even special when I try to get, you know, active on defense, try to get some steals here and there, and try to get stops. So it was just important for me to come out and set the tempo on defense.
Great job tonight. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
All right, Craig, the Sixers led all the way tonight. And Iverson's 33 led 5 double-figure scorers. And Nick Anderson had 23.